Andrew Dorr.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm actually going to do this a little bit backwards tonight. So if everyone could please raise their glass, I'd like to start off by congratulating the new Mr. and Mrs. Jones. So I'd like to thank the parents and everyone who helped make this special day possible. To the bridesmaids, you all look beautiful tonight. To Jen's parents, Jimmy and Diane, thank you for raising a kind, respectful, intelligent, and beautiful daughter in Jen. Jen, you look absolutely beautiful tonight. I'd also like to thank Rich and Thea Jones for trying. So before I dive into this, Jen, please place your right hand down on the table. Now, Danny, place your left hand on top of hers. Now, Dan, I want you to remember this moment and enjoy it. So this will be the first and last time you ever have the upper hand with Jen. All jokes aside, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Andrew Dorr, and I'm one of Danny's best men. So about a year ago, Danny stood up here as my best man, probably a little less sweaty than I am right now, and gave a speech. Unfortunately for him, I have the last words. So I've known Dan for about 25 years now. We met during the early years of T-ball, junior Red Raider football. Even at that early age, Dan had a sense of humor that we all know and love today. Throughout his early years of football, Dan wore the number 55. Now, some of you may be thinking to yourself, what player wore number 55 that Dan might be idolizing? I'll help you out. There wasn't one. Dan wore 55 because that's how much he weighed. All throughout his childhood years, it always baffled me how this kid could stay so skinny eating McDonald's once or twice a day. Now he's a co-owner of a gym and a fitness coach. Ironic. We should all be thanking Jen, because if it wasn't for her, tonight we'd have his go-to meal. Double cheeseburger, just cheese and ketchup with a Diet Coke. So for everyone that knows Dan, we know he's a huge Yankees fan, but a big baseball fan in general. For those of you that don't know, Dan actually went to Springfield College and was a pitcher there, and then he went on to coach the JV team. If it hadn't been for his love for baseball, he might have never ended up at Springfield, and he may have never met this beautiful bride sitting here before us today. Baseball has always been number one in Danny's heart. A lot of you may remember this day. It's a pretty hard one to forget. But this is the most Dan Jones memory of my entire existence of knowing Dan. So it was Danny's senior year, my junior year. We were in a battle for a playoff spot in the varsity sectional baseball tournament. Danny was on the mound pitching an unbelievable game, strung together a few hits late in the game, and Danny hit a ball to the fence for a game-tying double. Now the catcher on the other team had a real good arm. Next pitch was in the dirt. Danny steals third, slides into third base, and the ball for the catcher hits him square in the nose and the mouth. I'll save you all the gory details, but Dan got sent out in an ambulance, and to this day is one of the scariest moments of my life. After this long delay and tragic event that we all witnessed, we had to go back and finish the game. It was the bottom of the last inning, and we're sitting on the bench, and we hear a phone ring. Now, normally we would never answer the phone during a baseball game, but the car ID showed that it was Danny. So naturally, my heart sunk, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, what now, right? What could be worse? Some of you at this point are probably thinking, why am I telling you this awful story? But the reason this is the most Dan Jones moment of all time. Pick up the phone, it's Dan on the other line, in a high-pitched nasally voice, because remember, his nose is currently in about 1,000 pieces. Hello? Dude, oh my God, are you all right? What's the matter? Why are you calling? His response, yeah, I'm fine. So, how many strikeouts did I have? So the moral of the story is, Jen, just remember, no matter the circumstance, you could be going through the most tragic, scariest moment of your life, Dan will always be thinking about baseball. Now this story just goes to tell you the type of competitor that Danny is. This competitiveness and determination that he has inside of him, I truly believe he will apply to this marriage. No matter the circumstance, Dan will always fight through adversity and do what is best for you, Jen. Life may throw you curveballs, but the most important thing is you do them together as a team. Jen, you are truly a beautiful person inside and out. I never thought it would be possible, but I think you have officially taken over the first spot in Dan's heart. I've known Jen for about 8 years now, and every time I see her, she always has a smile on her face. unless you're playing the board game Werewolf and you convince her that everyone else is cheating when it was really you all along. Jen has this smile that's contagious and can light up any room she walks into. Her outgoing, kind, and loving personality makes her so easy to get along with. Jen, thank you for being the woman that you are and making my best friend the happiest man that he could possibly be. I'll leave you with this last little story. So it was back in 2015, Dan and I coached the first JV baseball team at Green Tech Charter School in Albany. We were holding tryouts for the team. Now I'd say about 90% of these kids have never touched the baseball in their life. So we were holding tryouts for the team, and we started the first day with a simple pair up, have a catch, warm up, right? After about 2 minutes and about 100 baseballs hitting the gym floor, Dan blew his whistle and told all the kids to drop the ball. So then Danny proceeded to demonstrate the proper throwing motion, and the kids pretended to catch and throw back and forth with the ball in their hands. So after about a few minutes of this, I turned to Danny, I go, Dan, what are we doing, man? This is a waste of time. Why are we making them do this? His response to me is something that has stuck with me even to this day. And I try to apply it not only to my sports, but also in my life in general. Dan's response was, we have to start somewhere. It's all about the little things. Once we master the little things, we can be successful. So Dan, remember, in order for this marriage to be successful, don't ever forget about the little things. Even though at first they may seem insignificant, whether it's never going to bed in a fight, always saying, giving her a kiss goodbye and telling her you love her. Sometimes life can be pretty easy to get in the way, but if you remember one thing, it's always continue to do the little things each and every day. Cheers.